Well, we're gonna kick it off, and so we're gonna talk a little bit about just like we've been doing in the past one, guys. And I know there's gonna be a few more people joining, but they can catch up. So we're gonna thank you so much for being here, and continuing with the integration work. Today's topic is gonna be about time, and Fernando, he's gonna enlighten us a little bit about time, the collapse of time, and a few other things of understanding what is time, right? And he has spoken about this publicly before, so I felt really happy to be able to invite him, and he can share a little bit of that with us, and then we can have some questions for him at the end as we finish. But we're gonna have the sharing circle. Obviously, we're gonna kick it off with Sabrina guiding us through a small meditation, just to calm emotions in the mind, to be able to open up to fresh perspectives. We're going to do a little bit of sharing circle of what has been going on for you in your life after the medicine circles. And just anything that you want to share, if it's any celebrations or any challenges that you want to share that you're going through, that you're adapting to. And then we'll begin with the talk, and then after the talk we'll go into the question section. And so with no further ado, hi Sabrina, how are you?
I am just good. How are you doing? You sound like you're doing well, but confirm.
Yeah,
good. Good. Hi everybody, hope everybody's doing really well. If we as we normally will, we'll just sit easily and comfortably. We'll take a nice deep breath in. And let it go. And close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Listen to the noises around you. Accept all noises. Be in harmony with your environment. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Become aware of your body. Your body is a beautiful gift to you from God or the universe or both, in love. Become aware of your feet and your legs. Become aware of your hips and your genitals. Become aware of your stomach and your abdomen. Become aware of your chest and your shoulders. Become aware of your neck and your face. Become aware of your whole head. Become aware of your arms and your hands. Aware of your whole body. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Become aware of your thoughts. Do not resist or judge the thoughts, whether good thoughts or bad thoughts. Be in harmony. Let the thoughts come. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Become aware of your feelings. Whether favorable or unfavorable. Do not resist or judge. Accept the feelings as they are. You are peace and joy. Become aware of your feelings. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of the sensations in the body. Become aware of your environment. Take a deep breath. And let it go. When you're ready, at your own pace, open your eyes. Loka namasta, Sukino Bhavatu.
Thank you, Sabrina. Gracias. I really enjoy those 5 minutes.
I know it's so effective. Like
It is. Yeah.
it just kind of calms everything down. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So we're gonna begin, guys. We want to again just thank you guys, all of you guys, for being here, and we wanna open it up to see if anybody would like to share anything that you've been, maybe going through, anything that you want to speak about celebration, anything, any changes that you have been observing since your last retreat, or just as a continuance of your work, and we want to just as a suggestion, right? Like just in the sharing circles and the ceremonies, we want to embrace, if you feel like a little bit of vulnerable because of being observed, you can just double click on your face, and it's big. It zooms out so that you don't feel all of that. But it is a suggestion just to embrace whatever vulnerability as you share what it is. Would anybody like to share anything going on in your life that it's worth reflecting about? Raj has always something to share.
I can share until if Raj doesn't have anything.
Hi, Lakshmi. Hi, Lakshmi.
Hi, Andres. Raj, can I share, or you want to share?
No, you go.
Yeah. Okay. I think the last week sharing share integration circle, I shared that there is that is something I'm going to be doing without Raj, just to practice my own power. And this is something that I've always been doing it with Raj, and then I decided that Friday I'm going to do it on my own, and it requires travel and all those things. I did it. It's just it was nothing. It was what I was so scared about was really nothing. So that was good. The second thing was a lot of things are opening up for me. I'm becoming more and more aware, and in that process, I think I'm more of all my, for lack of a better word, faults. I'm seeing all my faults, like in if I'm talking to someone, I can clearly see where I want their acceptance, where I, all those things are coming up. And after I say something, then that you were angry when you said that. Like, a lot of things are coming up. So I feel like I'm always looking for mistakes, like what to fix. And that's sort of that's sort of not making it pleasant. So I'm looking for more freedom. How do I be free from always looking for faults and mistakes and trying to correct it? Like, let it be, even if I think it's a fault, like it's fine. Like accept that, yeah, I made a mistake, or like, whatever is part of me, instead of trying to fix everything. That's a challenge I'm working on. Like, unless I fix something, I won't grow. But also, with the same token, I'm looking at all the mistakes every time. Being more aware of what I'm doing is making that thing. And I'm also trying to keep my speech, clean. Like one of the things in your first integration one, that was your first principle, to like just to keep your speech clean. Like, watch out for saying good things. sort of that's also helping me to sort of like think before I say things and keep a distance. Yeah, that's my update. I'm really looking forward to this time one. It has been always a big challenge for me.
So good that you look forward for that. I think it is it's actually something that we were talking about, how, you know, when even if it's like something really intense, you know that the challenge in itself is bringing you, you know, so much, you know, expansion, growth, understanding. Is like those moments that are, you know, really helping us to grow and just to get to know ourselves a little bit better. I think I really resonate with that. I think it's gonna be super nice for this coming medicine circle that you're going to.
So Lakshmi, me personally, when I started getting really sick of looking for the shit that was wrong with me, I started looking for the stuff that was good, right? I started identifying some of those really strong points and really narrowing in on what I wanted to focus on. I don't know if that makes a difference, since it's kind of almost hitting the end of the road of looking for what I need to fix, and understanding that there's nothing to fix. So let me see the good points and the strong and the beauty and the pleasantries. I don't, if that's just, that was what I kind of, that was the turn I took, and it seemed to be the right path for me.
It's I think that one of the things for me has been like not feeling so much, like not feeling guilty for the mistakes. And mistake's a mistake, you know. It is you know, not something to feel like not to blame ourselves or feel guilty for what has been. It's actually, we can understand the mistakes as blessings. And as you go and understand, if you connect deeply, if it's making you feel vulnerable or you know, emotional about it, that in itself is a blessing, because you're recognizing in the moment what the mistake is leading to, right? And you know, you either feel expansive in satisfaction or you feel contracted. And so does it feel, you know, and then you start understanding, you know, if for example, if the mistake was like not speaking your truth, you know, sometimes it happens, right? That we kind of like not express what needs to be expressed or something like this. Then in the moment, it's something that happens in the present moment, that you can actually just see, okay, what happened, right? So basically you are in a space of consistent observance of what's happening to you. And yes, of course, you're seeing what is not ideal based on how you feel, but it's an opportunity that you have in that present moment, just to say, okay, it's something that I have a little bit of conflict with, that I am not expressing, for example, and just as an example, and I'm not expressing my truth. And that mistake, you know, you're grateful for the mistake, you understand it in a different way, rather than feeling guilty or judging for not having expressed something that is important. And you thank the opportunity to review, you thank the mistake itself, and then you move forward. And now it's going to come again, you know, it's going to come again, the opportunity to engage with whatever that mistake is, so that you can, you know, with this new awareness and gratitude, with less apprehension, a better relationship with the energy of that mistake, whether it is speaking your truth or whatever it is, right? Then you can start creating and making it in a way that you want. Does that make sense, Lakshmi?
Yes, I know. You always say that. Now that you said it, yes, I think this is the. I'm just going through my head. Oh my gosh, this is the 100th time he's saying this to me.
It's usually the same. Yeah.
Thanks, Andres. Thanks for your patience.
No. It's actually always a reflection for us, for everyone, for myself too. You know, is yeah. Thank you so much for sharing, Lakshmi.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Would anybody like to share anything else? Anything that has been going on?
May I?
Of course.
Yeah, because we're talking time, you know,
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I'm just so aware since the last retreat, A, that I'm growing older and my birthday is coming up, and B, that I have to die one day, and C, I feel like I'm still not in my purpose. When am I gonna get there? You know, like how could I take such a long time to get this point in my life, and how could I have so many years of unawareness and pain, and I was just like playing the victim and almost suffocating instead of, you know, getting out of it. I mean, I tried, right? I tried to get the help I needed, or I did a lot of self-help, whatever stuff, and I'm struggling with accepting, yeah, time fades, you know, like I meet friends I haven't seen in a couple of years, their kids are grown, and I'm like, but I always feel like I'm in the same spot in my life, like hardly any growth, hardly any change. And you know, all the years, I don't want to say wasted, but yeah, in a way, like the years I spent, you know, yeah, wasting time in a way, suffering and, you know, eating bad and treating myself badly. And right now I'm just like, okay, when is this ever gonna get better? I mean, I'm working myself out of it slowly, but I'm restless. I hardly sleep. I'm impatient in a way. I wish I would move into the flow faster, or in a way where I trust more, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm struggling with this whole time concept right now. Yeah.
Thank you, Fran. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think for me, what I hear is sort of like the pattern, because I mean, in this past time that we've worked, I mean, I mean, I saw the pictures that you posted recently on Facebook when you were in San Francisco with Emily, and you look so much different than a year and a half ago when I met you, or however long I met you ago. You're, you know, not only, you know, physically different, but you know, your energy, the whole thing. And I'm pretty sure that you can observe those, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying not to be so hard on myself. But I know I'm in a major transformation and growth in a way. You know, I'm looking for a new job still. I even invested, although I don't have the money, like I invested in professional resume rewriting and all that. And I feel like I'm at a breakthrough, right? You know, I'm gonna ask for more money now. I'm gonna.
You're cutting off.
Yeah. So can you hear me? I'm sorry, I'm driving. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
No.
So you invested.
Yeah.
We heard
No,
you
it's like,
that you invested in a professional.
yeah, like how could I spend like 30 years on a fucking eating disorder? Why didn't I wake up earlier? Why didn't I, you know? So,
Yeah.
so the years that I spent I still spend on my own. Like, I so I'm working through a program right now where you just create a vision for your life, for all the different areas of life. And it's interesting because the program didn't like properly. And the one about relationships, I hardly gave a second thought. But it was all about finance, career, a spiritual life, health and fitness, you know. And I'm like, why do I not care more about relationships? And like, what is the limiting belief underneath this? That I'm isolating myself. It's nobody else doing that for me. Why, you know? And then I get down on myself and then I feel sad. So, yeah. These years in isolation, why am I doing that? What am I believing? And I'm trying to journal, I'm trying to figure it out, but you know, I don't really. So yeah.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it last time, that we spent like 2 hours on the phone. I don't know if you remember that. It's we have to be super disciplined with what kind of thoughts we're entertaining, and you know, the feelings and all of that is just a pattern, because you already know the changes are happening, and everything's getting better slowly. And it you know, it's still a lot of the patterns that we hold, they're still playing its part, right? And
Yeah.
there's things that you can do, you know, like a little bit more, you know, deeper rituals of magic to change the beliefs a little stronger, a little faster. But all in all, what's happening right now, it is very important. From my Anya, from what I'm telling you is, I think that it's very important that even these moments of, you know, challenging, you start to have a negotiation so that they don't feel like a burden, and you start making them work for yourself, meaning like understand what is happening as the blessing of the transformation that you're going through, every single step, until whatever comes is like you recognize it, and immediately there's no conflict with what the challenge that you're perceiving, and so your perceptions are starting to soften. They start to soften.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they definitely. I mean, I was much harder on myself in the past. That's what I'm trying to remind myself. Then, like you say, look at your growth already. Look at what's happened in the last 5 months. You're a different person than you were in January or February. But again, time, you know, puts my, oh God, it could be faster, it could be better, it could be more, you know. And I need to like relax more, like you said, relax into your growth, relax into the moment. But how do I do that? I'm not always managing, obviously, you know, like.
And I might challenge, Fran, I might challenge you to also find, and I know you do, but like to find being okay with where you are in this moment. You know, instead of striving to hasten for some future state where you're going to feel better. You know, that can almost stifle growth as much as, you know, letting it, you know, take its own time without doing anything. So either trying to hasten it or trying to, you know, make it take longer. Either way, you know, it's just about, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm not even ready to get everything at once. It would be too much. I wouldn't be able to handle it. It would be overwhelming. I understand that it needs to be step by step in that sense. And I'm doing my gratitude list. I'm grateful every day and all that. But yeah, today has been a bit of a darker day. So I'm glad we're having this conversation, because I feel like on days like these, I feel amazing yesterday and the day before, everything's in a flow. And then I'm like, is this a setback now, or why do I feel differently again today? But obviously it's something that I still need looking at. So up and down.
It is a different aspect. You know, the pattern of thinking is the same, right? But it is a different aspect what you're connecting to, meaning it's a different shade of energy, that today's energy, you know, whatever I think is, we're talking about it in the morning, I think it's Venus conjunction with the moon. There's a specific, you know, there's a specific type of vibration that comes in and filters through you, and then you feel, you know, again, you know, something to be reviewed, and then it's another opportunity that with reflection to this energy that is coming to you, you're again, it's just showing you another aspect of how the pattern might still be there, and it's not it's basically an opportunity for you to be able to see all of the challenges as, you know, to retrain and understand that everything that is happening is for that, is for you, for the continuance of the transformation, and just, you know, take it as heavy as it might feel. You know, it's all about causa, right? Embrace what is coming, and then understand what is it that it's your truth, and if you feel like that, acknowledge it, give it existence, and then really put it into perspective. What is it that you want? You know, understand that it's your perception, is your reaction to the energy. It is everything. You're at the core, right? So the conflict is also, you know, the conflict with that is also you. So as it's coming, it's just an opportunity to train more and more and more, so that, you know, it doesn't matter what comes. You're always really well self-contained. It could be a, you know, physical challenge, or it could be a financial challenge, and if it moves you, it's just you know, it is important to be really honest and have humility about, you know, not to block it, not to dismiss it, like, no, this doesn't matter. No, of course, you know, like, let her in, let her feel it, whole thing. And then from that moment of connectedness and vulnerability with yourself, then you move forward in the ways that you want to move forward, right? After
Yeah.
you have acknowledged, you're given these energies in yourself, you've given it existence, you understood the purpose and the function of these energies, and then you keep on working with, bridging where you are, the present moment of here and now, into that vision, that inspired vision of yourself, however you see, more expanded, more, and then make it happen with rituals, make it happen with, symbolic action, necessary and non-necessary actions, you know all of that. So it is just applying what we know, so
Yeah.
that we can live it in wisdom. We can live the knowledge you apply, you become wise.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. Gracias. Cool, guys. We have time for one more person if anybody wants to share, and then we'll begin with the topic of time. Anybody else would like to share, or any questions about anything? Hey, Andrew.
Hey, how's it going, Andres?
Pretty good. About you?
Good, good. So I did my first ceremony 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, and like finishing it or whatever, I just had to get out of there. I was didn't sleep very well or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just had to leave. But the days following everything was definitely a lot easier. Got a lot of benefit out of it. Thought a lot about things. Had some cool dreams with a lot of purpose and stuff like that. And now I'm at a stage where like everything's kind of worn off for the most part. So that's kind of the unfortunate place I'm at right now or whatever. But definitely things were a lot easier as far as like dulling certain triggers and stuff like that, got a lot of, I'd stop and kind of think about things or whatever, and certain things that I was addicted to or whatever, like I would not participate in or whatever. But now it's kind of like I've stressed out today or whatever, and then ate some food that I shouldn't, kind of thing. So I don't know. Yeah, but it definitely worked very well for a while. So I'm just kind of bumming a little bit today.
It is pretty important. This is something that we share always, is that the medicines and what happens in the medicines are just glimpses. It's just a glimpse of, of yourself in alignment with yourself, in alignment with harmony, with alignment with, and the glimpse itself is not the purpose. It's the purpose is so that you can recognize, different levels of vibration within yourself, so you can choose what is it that you want, and you can discern how different emotion states feel. So the medicine is really not meant to enlighten us. It's really not meant to do the work for us, and that's why it fades away. I had an experience when I first when it all started for me. I was like in a state of natural just bliss and ecstasy for some weeks, and then like after everything passed, I'm like, what the freaking shit did just happen? Just like again, again I'm angry, again I'm lying, again I'm doing like all of these things. And then it took me a while to understand that right there is just it is meant to just show you that there is a path, that there is a way, there's a way, and it's really you're vibrating with yourself. So now the things that you feel like you're back in square one, this is a moment where we want to start questioning, right? It's like, okay, what is it? What kind of habits do I have that are not serving me? What kind of emotions am I entertaining that are not serving me? What kind of beliefs? All of these things, right? And because when you rise up in energy so much, then what ends up happening is you start to vibrate really highly, and everything flows, and you don't have conflict with anything. And then it starts to the point that it's you start coming back into your normal day-to-day awareness, and that's when you feel the dissonance, you feel the distance in between you and you, in between you here and now, and then you, the expanded, multidimensional aspect of yourself, which you get to experience for a week after the retreats. And what you're doing now is just like, okay, now it's reflection time. Now it's kind of like working and doing the work and doing the some of the changes that we have to do, brother.
Good. Sounds good. More work to be done.
Oh, always. Thank you, brother. Hi, Melanie. How you doing? Good to see you.
Hey.
All right, guys. So, like I was sharing with you guys, I want to introduce yours real quick, briefly, Fernando. He's the one who shared with me the letters. I've shared with you guys the letters. With a lot of you guys, I've shared the letters, and that was kind of like the text that kind of started things for me. But also throughout the whole journey, we've become like really close friends, and helped each other mostly from that side to this side. And it's been a really beautiful support that I cherish, and he's gonna share with us a little bit of as much as you want to share with us about who are you, brother, and then from there, if you want to transition into time, maybe you can tie it up all together.
Okay, perfect. Hi everyone. Like Andres said, my name is Fernando. I'm in Mexico right now. I'm sorry if my English is not too good, but I will try my best to make it clear to everyone. I've been an artist for 25 years. Well, for me, it happens like at one moment when I was very young, I started to painting. Something told me that this is going to end. Like you're gonna die. I was pretty young. I was 17 years old, 18 years old, and something told me about that. And well, that everything started to happen until 2013. We started to talk, and Andres and I, and okay, we've been like Andres say, like together in all this spiritual growing. So. I'm still an artist. I'm still painting and doing art. But now, at this moment, for me, it's more important the awakening of myself first, but that everyone that is near to me or sharing the same feeling about the life and death and all this situation that it's in our heads, in our hearts, so in ourselves. So I'm going to start to talk about time. I'm going to try to do it the best because it's not an easy theme. It's not easy to talk about this, but the first thing about time is like time only exists in a part of the existence. What does that mean? It means like time only exists when matter exists. So time is only for matter. The second thing about time is there is many kinds of time, because this is the time. Time is for human, like when we're counting every beep, every moment. So we start to count, and then we think that we are going through a line of time, but that is just an illusion making that the human did. That we are going through a line. Like I hear like someone shared like the how many time do I lost or how many time do I have left. Okay, so that's the illusion that I'm talking, because we are looking at time through a line of beginning and end. So that's an illusion, because that's something that the human did and invent to measure from this point to this point. But it's the really time in that way it doesn't exist. Now I'm going to tell you why. Okay, the time that really exists is the time for the matter. All the matter in the universe, it appears and disappears. So all the matter have a clocking inside that make it appear and disappear. Everything is going to disappear eventually, even a sun or everything, because appear and all the atoms are together and then they're going to disappear. So all the matter have a time of life. When you call an organic life, it's the life organic stuff is shorter because it's more complex. So we are inside of organic system that have a time in between, and we are counting that time. But time is only for matter, and it's only for this body. But if we go to a next level, to another dimension, time, it doesn't exist. Why is that? Because if we're looking at from the soul, so soul is eterna, ¿cómo se dice eterno? Infinite.
Eternal, yeah.
Eternal, right. So the soul is eternal. And so if you are having feelings about time, the illusion time, the human time that we are counting, our soul in a way doesn't understand what's going on, because the soul say, why are sad about this? So because our soul doesn't understand, because it's eternal. So the time that we are going deep in the illusion of is finite or is going to end and make us feel something, is become from the illusion of is going to finish. And that illusion is right when we think of the body, when we think of the matter. But when we think of another dimensions of the soul or the higher self, well, time, it doesn't exist. Now we have to reconfigure time for the real time, not the illusion time, the linear time, because the linear time is an illusion.
Yeah.
But we are tapping, like now this second, now this hour, now this day, now this year, and we're counting on it. So we think like that's the past, and they're coming the future. But the real thing is that time, even past or future, is collapsing at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
It happened right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to think about future, whatever you think about the future,
mm-hmm.
it's not in the future, it's now. So if you're really feeling bad about the future, thinking about the future, you're just going inside a place that it doesn't exist,
right? Because
it only exists for the matter. But if you go to that place aware that is collapsing at this moment, you can reconfigure the future and you collapse in the future now. So we have to start to see time as the real thing that it is, that is only applied for matter, but doesn't apply for the higher self or the soul. Mm-hmm. And if you see that way, you can collapse the future at this moment. You are making the future at this moment. We don't have to do anything of the future that we don't have to do at this moment. Mm-hmm. So if you are afraid of the future, you have to reconfigure it. You have to redo the future in the present. Because if you go to the future, you will feel bad about it, because it's an illusion and maybe tell you bad things about the future. But the thing is that future that you are thinking is not there. It's here. So all the time, the future is here. The same with the past. When we think about the past, mm-hmm. we are making the past happen now. So if you think bad about the past, you will feel sad about the past, but you're not thinking about the past. You are making a reproduction, a chemical reproduction that what exactly is happening, even the future or the past is a chemical reproduction of what you think of the future or what you think about the past. And with this chemical in our brains, we're making these emotions, and we are making the past and the future at this moment. So the past and the future is just a electrochemical situation happening in the present, in our brain, in our body, and in our field, electrical field. So we need to connect with our soul or higher self, understand the thing about time. The time for the human is something linear and is an illusion. For the higher self is something that is collapsing, that is happening at this moment. So if you have a low vibration, you will connect with a linear situation of time, and you will feel bad about future or about past, and you're making it right now. But if you have a higher vibration, maybe you can see it from another level and say, oh my God, now I'm doing the past, now I'm doing the future, now I'm doing everything. So I be aware of my electrochemical situations to make my vibrations go high and make the better past and the better future, because only exists in the present, both.
I want to share something that
Please.
I've had an experience with what you're saying right now. There's it's pretty freaking cool. I remember in one of my childhood memories, you know, I was experiencing some physical abuse, right? And it was like one of those memories that is like a trauma, right? And so I'm in a meditation, and then I go from this present moment to that, and this is what happened as I am reliving, and so I am just situated as the observer of the moving picture that is happening in the memory, right? And then I hold myself, you know, I give myself a hug, and then what happens now is that now I have the memory of an awareness. Like when I remember now, there's a new memory that gets formed, that there was something holding space for me. And from always in the memory, you know, it's always been for me that when that was happening, I was almost aware, as I was like getting beaten or whatever, I was almost aware that there was something observing the whole thing, observing what was happening, and telling me it's okay, you know, just like, you know, like you know, you're fine, you're gonna be all right, I love you, something like that. And then I got to do the meditation. When I go and do it and it clicked, it was me, you know, it was me doing the past and the present and just creating the whole thing in this moment, right? The perception. But what I wanted to ask you is, so how do we deal with biological memory that has been created in the linear on the past?
Okay, well, the thing with is a cellular memory that we have, and it's stick in our body. The thing is that when we recreate the past with this distortion of the past with pain, so we are like feeding ourselves with that energy, so that cells are demanding the next time in the next cycle that same energy. So it came the same emotion, so you recreate the same energy, so you feed your cells. So you have to clean your cells to help your mind to clean your past.
In this cleansing that you're talking about, is this a energetic cleansing? This is a physical cleansing, like
yes.
How, okay.
Yes, yes. Well, it's all together. All the bodies are together. We all see the physical body, and we think that we are only the physical body, but the truth is, we are more like an atom. You know, that there's
the energy field, Pokpo, yeah.
All connected with different aspect of ourselves, with our body, with our cells. So if you can access to that energetic field of yours, you can understand your materic body. So we have to work all together with one thing. Our mind is connected to our field, but our body is connected to our cells. So it really connect with what we eat. It's really important, because that's where we get in, and what we eat is not only on food, but it's what we get into us, what we see, how we see it, so what we getting into our body in all the levels, in the mind, in the body. So we have to make a full clean of everything, but we have to make it slowly. Everything we have to make it slowly, because it's really difficult to do it. And well, in my case, well, I it's been a process really difficult to make it. Everyone who wants this, we're going through something really complex. So Mhm.
I think, and for me, like personally, you know, and this is just some perspectives that I adopted from the keto tradition, where I think I've shared this at some point with you in the past, how there are some shamans that choose consciously to go and eat some pork. You know, they consciously see, and they know, they willingly know, they consciously know what they're willing to go and experience, which is going to be a dense aspect of themselves, right? And it's going to be like getting to know a little bit deeper their own darkness, maybe their own shadow, and so it is. But it resonates for a long time. I mean, I think I shared with you. I was like a vegan keto. I had a really clean diet, and I got thin and shit, and like the whole thing, and it was a more vitality, but there was always something. So this is in relationship to what Fran was saying. How do you deal with the pattern?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, first, I think you have to be aware of the pattern, and then you have to be aware of what makes you feel, how you feel it, and maybe you have to experiment 1,000 times. I don't know the pattern, and
Yeah.
this is not like this food is good, this food is bad. Everyone have to see what's good or bad for them. But we know that food that comes from the nature is better. But I think that everyone have to investigate or understand what is good or bad for him. But the pattern and the feelings, that's something that we have to be aware. And like you said, like a moment before, like you have to be at the time if you have this bad experience and you learn to be grateful about it, you start to change the pattern, because the next time you connect with the pattern, you will see it from another angle. Now I don't hate you. Now I feel grateful for you.
Right.
So maybe, you have to
Gotcha.
small steps.
This is something that just today I experienced, and I've actually seen it in many different ways. But whenever the insight came, I was like, "Oh, you're bad," like I would judge in the one thing. And this is something that we've spoken to also about, like stimulants, and so coffee, right? And I go through periods of like no coffee for like a month, 2 months, and then again little by little until like all of a sudden it's like 2 cups a day, and then I'm kind of like dealing with the stimulation and just like channeling all of that energy, and it's sort of like going on a roller coaster, right? Like emotions, but I'm also a lot more susceptible to external energies, and to situations, and more reactive, maybe a little bit, things like this. And then so as I'm having the process that I was telling you with a participant right now of medicine, the first thing that came immediately as I went into the medicine of Sapito, the first thing that came is like that is not a harmonious process for you. Like it's like, and then it's like, okay, so if it's not harmonious, it means that it's bad. It's like, no, okay. And this is we start to change the understanding that it is not the problem with the coffee, but what you're saying is you're not aware of what you're chasing through the coffee, what is making you feel, what you're addicted to, and then it's like, and then it was a whole synergistic, because the my friend, the participant that had the exactly the same thing, so it's like, we came together to this moment of realization, right, that we're chasing something, with stimulation. And so it is what you're saying basically is just recognizing the pattern, and now it is having a little bit more respect for not so much, well, I mean, respect of course, but more awareness of what is it that I am putting in. And it could be physical, but also, like you're saying, I think is very, very important, mental too, what kind of mental food we're getting. It's it just clicks 100% with what you're saying.
I want to add something that you just say that the thing is not, the coffee is not the bad, the food is not the bad. It's like you just said, what are you pursue it when you're doing? So you can make this exercise, mental exercise with this thing. What about is if I don't have it? It's a mental. What or I don't drink coffee? and then the shock get in, and then you realize that you are looking for something.
Yeah.
But when you say, if tomorrow I don't have a coffee, it's okay with me. Now you got over the coffee.
Right.
So we have to do that with all the things that we have apego, like we are attached to. Yeah, we have attachment. We have to tell to the attachment, not leave the coffee. Just say, it's okay, I don't have the coffee.
Yeah.
When you get to say that to the coffee and to everything, you lose the attachment, and you can make the exercise not losing the thing, just asking yourself, what if? And you start to ask yourself, you start to realize all the attachment that you have. No, I cannot live without that. So, oh my God, there it is. How do you know you cannot live without the coffee or that thing or the other thing? It's just a mental exercise. You don't have to leave anything.
Right. And so the things that have been like, obviously we talked a little bit about the cellular memory, and these things have come from like really strong imprints, like trauma or something like that, right? We had a participant that had was allergic to olives, to aceitunas, because we got to the root, and she didn't know why, but it's something that she developed because at some point the mom and the dad got really upset at her when she was young, and they started yelling at her. It's like, how did you eat the whole can of olives, and it was like just like some fear, and she's like, oh shit, I did something really bad. Fuck olives, like I'm not gonna have olives ever again. And then she developed something like this. So what do you suggest so that things that have happened in the past, if we're not gonna see it linear anymore, and if we are to become aware of the linear pattern, right?
You cannot go to you can go to. It's not possible to go to the past if you see it linear. So you have to be in the present.
Right.
And you just give the solution. The solution is a reconstruction of in a regression, and make a reconstruction of the past with love. I want to share something that happened to me. I have to go back to when I was 5 years and fix something, talk to me, and when I was 16 years, and I do the regression myself. I think everyone can do it. Just focus on that time and forgive. But sometimes they're professional to do this. There are many people that know how to make this regression, go to the place and talk to them. I just helped someone on December to make a regression about someone who feels real bad about herself, and then I took her to the past, with the moment when there was the conflict, and I said, did you look at yourself? She said, yes, I'm looking at me. Okay. And do you think, can you blame that girl, that 6 year or 7 year or 8 year girl? Can you blame her?
Yeah.
Of course not. How you feel about her? And so they make the connection with this distortion of the past that is not in the past, it's in the present. But every time that you're thinking on the past, you're not thinking of the past. Your reconstruction, you're making a reconstruction in the present of that past. So everyone can fix it. It's not that complex. You have to trust yourself, but you have to go with love.
So it's a reconstruction of the perspective of the ego, of the traumatized ego, of the traumatized identity from that moment. Okay. And this is something that we do also, is we basically call it remember, relive, and resolve. And the resolve is from the perspective of now. Remember, relive, and resolve. And so that process in itself, when you're doing it conscious, are you outside of the linear time?
Yeah, of course. There is no linear time. There never exists a linear time. The linear time, it can be invented at all the moment. We're not sure about what happened in the past, because everything move it so many ways. So there is really no past. Never been a past. There are many times of timelines. So we have to understand, because there is not going to be a connection with the higher self, with the soul, if we just keep thinking on the linear time. The linear time is only to count, only to plan,
Mhm.
You know, you only to say, okay, in 2 days or tomorrow or 3 days ago, or I have to do this way and in this week. That's how it works, the linear time. But it really doesn't work in our mind. In our mind, there is no time. Only if we let it, that time get into our mind. And the thing is, what the linear time would get emotional.
Mhm.
So that's where the real disruption
Mhm.
starts.
Okay.
When we get emotional about things that is not real,
Yeah.
because that thing is not in the past.
Illogical. Yeah.
And that thing about money, about everything is not in the future. It's happening now. So if you're aware, oh my God, I'm doing it right now, everything.
Yeah.
So that making all the change. So for the people that are thinking, how many times do we have? We don't, no one knows. No one knows how many times, but what do we know is what are you thinking right now? So we have to be aware of that, how I feel right now, because that in that moment we're making the future.
Mhm.
So everything we have to make in the future, we have to start to do it in the present. So, but many things we have to act. It's not always mental. Okay, if you want to, I don't know, have a great body, something very superficial, it's okay. Well, you have to see what you're eating and make your exercise. So you have to do something, you know, that's for the future. You, whatever you want to accomplish, you have to make something. But if you're already doing it, if you're already working on your food or your body, or you're doing it the right way, so you don't have to worry about it.
Mhm.
Or if you worry, does it help?
Okay. And so then how does that feed with, like, now that we spoke about the future and we have that pretty well resolved, how do we integrate the future now? I'm sorry, we talked about the past. So now going into the future, I've heard both from the letters and from different perspectives is expect great things.
Mhm.
So how does that tie? Like if I have the expectation of you know, for example, some material abundance or something like this, right? Um, if and am I not in linear time when I am projecting something about the future?
No, it doesn't exist, the linear time. You have okay, there's many things. That's the co-creation. It's one of the most
When I say linear time, I mean like the you just explain it in the way that, you know, when you're in linear time is because your vibration is a little lower, right? And then the expectation comes with attachment, right? So when I am expecting in a lower vibration, you know, about things in the future, like maybe things that I want, that I need, that I desire. Yeah. So what is the perspective of the now here to create what you want, that is going to come, that you're going to manifest?
You feel grateful?
Okay.
Yeah, we can make it, but do you feel grateful?
For what's to come, you mean? You mean for what's to come?
What about what you're thinking in that linear time? Do you feel grateful? Because you're making now. So let's see. I want this in the future. Okay, it's in the future. But if you feel grateful, you're feeling now. So you're making it happen now.
Okay.
You're thinking now. So
you're projecting from this present moment. Okay. So, right.
You have to feel it now. So it's not going to happen. If you learn how to feel it now, it's not going to happen. But there's another thing. This is more complicated. But that's the first thing. But that's what I call the co-creation. When you're aligned with God, with everything will happen, because you're not an ego asking for things. You are light asking for light. So when you ask for from the ego, from the low vibration, what happened is that maybe it's not in your path. It's not going to help you what you have to learn. So it's not going to happen. And if you make it happen, maybe you're gonna have some trouble if you make it happen, because you was there like making, I want this. Well, you have it now. Feel the consequence. But when you're online, yeah. So we have to be careful what we want. because if we ask him from the ego, maybe it's not the best for us, and we're going to suffer from that. But
and so I want to make a distinction right there, because we speak about the ego, and the way that we understand the ego is something to be embraced, something to,
yes,
when I say embraced, is like something that it is a part of us, and that I cannot be in rejection of, I cannot be rejecting my ego, because then I enter duality, meaning like there's a part of me that feels hurt or that feels a need, but I squash it down. And so in that sense, I enter, with ideals that I am light, I am love, but this part of myself that is feeling maybe a little scared, or maybe wants some satisfaction, then I reject it or I neglect it. So in the medicine, that when we take it, is like, no, it's okay, understand what you're feeling, right? Understand that part of the ego and evolve that part of the ego, like make the ego expand itself. But we've talked about it, the ego sum, right? Like just identify with a larger aspect of yourself.
that the ego is bad, but it's confused because, well,
Yes.
the mechanisms that the ego use to make experience is time and space. The ego is what it is to make the experience. So the ego tells you tomorrow and there. I'm here, they are there. That happened yesterday, that happened tomorrow. And with that elements, the ego make you the experience to make you learn to feel. So the ego is confused. The ego is confused. So he makes all the histories to you have the experience. But when you are aware that many of those things doesn't exist because are just looking through a glass that is an illusion from time and space, and from the ego, you light, you put light on that situation. You put light on the ego, so the ego understand, and the ego doesn't. When you say, "Oh, my coffee from tomorrow," what if you don't have it? Of course, I need it. Who is saying that? So you have to put the light on the ego and tell it, it's okay, my friend. If you don't have the pure coffee, nothing is going to happen. Everything, maybe you're gonna feel a bit sleepy or whatever, for a few days, but then you're gonna be okay. Everything is going to be okay. That's the light. That's the soul. That's the higher self telling the ego to be relaxed. That it's not going to be that hard like he thinks to. So it's like a big brother, yourself, from the ego, helping the ego to understand. But like I said, the ego needs time and needs a space to make the experience. So if you detect like time and space is in the history that you're telling you inside, you can say, you can tell, it's the ego who's talking. It's not like he's bad, but he's confused because, I understand time and space. And I can tell you, hey, my friend, we're not going to the past. We're not going to the future. We're here making this. So if you're telling me something about the future, I think you're wrong. But I'm talking to him. I'm not saying you're stupid. Get out of here. Hey, I need it. I need it because the ego is what made me here, be here.
Yes.
My individuality and be here, it's my ego. It's okay. But I'm not going to listen to history with the illusion of time and space, because I understand there is no time and there is no space. There is a space when I walk, of course. You're there and I'm here, of course. But if I close my eyes and I think of you, you're not anywhere. You're here in me. So I can put my mind everywhere. So space doesn't exist only for the ego. Only the ego see the body, and he needed the body and he needed the time to make all the experience we need to understand, to learn. And what I think we have to learn is to feel. We don't want to feel. That's we want to eat all the time and see movies and shopping and all the stuff that we learn more in Occident, because we have to be sleeping. We don't want to feel anything. But when you start to do this awareness, like we were talking, you start to feel, oh my God, I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel, and so
lonely. I feel rejection, everything.
Right. Yeah. So that's we human are here for me. to learn to feel. And the ego is make the experience so you can feel. But when you understand the ego and understand the mechanism of the ego, that is time and space, you can make another relation, a higher relation with the ego, telling him, hey, you cannot talk to me about the future because the future is now. And I understand. So
how can you use in your favor, how can we use in our favor the collapsing of time? Is this something that you are aware of that is happening, that we can be aware of that is happening here and now, to maybe transmute something that is difficult, and we talked about it already a little bit in the past, to face a challenge or to create something that we want, to create is that something that you practice yourself, something that we can,
and how you feel, aware of how you feel, and if you collapsing, we are already doing it all the time, even if we are not aware of that. That's something, that's our nature. But
okay, yeah,
if you're dancing, if you're happy, if you're hugging, if you're smiling, that's how it works. This, but in the real way, not because I have to be happy. No, you don't have to be happy. You feel happy. So that's what we have to do. So every time that we not happy, we have to think, why I'm not happy? What's going on? Oh, is that, you have to fix it. Someone we're talking about there, you have to fix it. Sometimes you have to fix it here. Sometimes you fix it here. Sometimes there are many fixing. There are many. Sometimes you fix it with where we eat or where, the way we talk or whatever. But we have to fix it and start all over. And until you feel happy, you're collapsing the time the right way. But the real happy. And like you said, I've been like for weeks, like, oh my God, this is so good. Yeah, you have to experience like the grayness of life. And then we go down to see what is left of darkness of us. And then we work on the darkness and then go up. And then that's the way for a while, because I at the beginning it was like this, up, down. Start to do this, and then for me it was a time like just go there, because I don't have to go there. I don't have to go there. I just have to be here, be collapsing, be aware. Things still happen because I'm here. Everything is still happening. Nothing changed. Nothing in absolute sense. But what it changed is my awareness of what's going on. That's all the change. And that's making collapsing the time and things start to be better. I see a question for someone. I'm sorry, but did someone have a question for me? Or
I think there was
planning, something about planning.
I see a lot of folks getting past. So there's a few questions. So Mitesh, was it remember, relieve, restore with love? And it's not restore, but it's resolve. Yeah, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. And then I see a lot of folks get stuck in either past or worry about the future. So past worry about the future, basically maybe like a pattern of like, I've experienced this, so this is what is going to come, such a game that plays internally. This is what we were speaking about, projecting the past, and just being tied out with that. And then Mitesh, the question that Mitesh has is like, I question timing a lot in planning for events. Like doubt creeps in that might not be the right time. It wavers my commitment in showing up. I wonder how I can reconcile the gap.
Can you
Yeah, so básicamente lo que dice, just gonna say it in Spanish real quick, que a veces tiene duda de que el momento para actuar de la inspiración que le está llegando es el momento correcto y el compromiso que tiene para hacer lo que le está llegando, con la duda empieza a tambalearse. Entonces, how can we reconcile the gap? Es cómo podemos reconciliar, cómo podemos hacer las paces con eso.
Oh, it's a pretty difficult question, really, because I think no one really knows like the right question, only in the moment. And I think if you're feeling, you have to trust yourself.
Oh,
If you're feeling in your guts and in your heart, you have to trust yourself and go ahead and do it. But I'm not sure what you're talking about, so I cannot tell you do that or don't do it. I really don't know. Discernimiento, ¿cómo se dice?
discernment.
Discernment. I think that's the key for everything that we're talking, because everything like is collapsing in the present. You need to realize what's going on, aware of your feeling, aware of what's happening, and you have to make the decision with all the
Components, all the puzzle pieces.
yes, you have to solve what happened is we have to solve all the puzzle every moment.
Yeah.
But not in a stressing way. No. Oh my God, what is like more joy you have, it's more easy to solve the puzzle. You're in the right track. If you're feeling okay, you're in the right track. And well, feeling okay is not like feeling okay. Oh yes, something happened outside. No, nothing has to happen outside. It's if I feel it inside. Yes, I'm doing. This is my way. For me, my brújula,
Compass.
my compass is peace. Peace. So when I analyze all this stuff and everything and say, oh my God, that's where I got peace, that's where I'm going. Because if I go that way, maybe I don't have the peace I want. So I think peace is the more greatest thing that I can get from being here. And when I have peace, I have everything. I have joy, I have health, I have everything else that is life. But first, for me, is peace in my discernment of every moment that I have to do it. Because every moment, since before I open my eyes, I start to make the discernment of what I'm going to think and why. So there, starting all the day, I have to do that. I have to do when someone called me, when something happened, whatever happened, I have to do that and find the peace and go to the next moment and go to the next moment. And it's never going to happen because the time is collapsing now and everything is happening now. So we have to work now.
Mm-hmm.
in awareness now.
Mm-hmm. So just to summarize everything is basically understanding how the inspiration that we receive to act in a moment, how does that feel? If it's expansive, if it's satisfaction,
Yes.
or if it's taking my peace away. And then
Yes.
based on that, I can make a decision of understanding the puzzle pieces as maybe this is the right timing or maybe this is not the right timing. I have to, understand something, maybe not put things in jeopardy. And for that, I think you mentioned something that is very important, which is trust. How trusting that the insight that comes. And now the insight sometimes, like if you get, like, for example, a message that says today we have to do X, Y, Z, something like that, right? And it's an inspiration message that you get, and as you get it, is it possible that it's still at some subconscious level imprinted by an agreement that you feel good that it's from the past, that might not be, that might not be in harmony?
That could happen, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you can start the day and say, today you're going to do this beautiful whatever, okay, and you go and put your clothes to do that thing, and because you feel like you have to do that. I don't know, let's say I'm going to do the garden. Today I'm going to do my garden, and I put my garden clothes and my hat and whatever, and when I go out, I don't know, start to rain and it's impossible to do it. So, well, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Moment, boom, you have to realize and how I feel about that. Hey, why you tell me to go outside and do this if it's going to rain? That's why. Now, do you have the question in your answer? How you feel it? You feel sad? So many times there are things that we have to do I don't know, eat something that is bad for us,
Mhm.
and you say, hey, they tell me to do it, and you do it, and you, oh, my stomach, okay,
Mhm.
how you feel it? You want to do it again? Well, I'm not sure. Next time I'm going to be more aware because I don't feel so good. And maybe they do it again. Hey, they tell me to do it. That it was okay. That it was a long time ago. Okay, I'm going to do it, and I'll get the same result. Okay, and so you start to learn about that pattern. So you have to trust, even if it's a bad thing. Well, bad thing that it really don't kill yourself or kill anyone, or maybe
Something
something
that doesn't
that
feel
good.
beneficial.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Sometimes you have to eat something bad and nothing happens to you. And sometimes you eat everything good and your stomach hurts. So there's no rules for anything. If you're thinking of rules, you're thinking again in the linear time and obtain results. No one knows what's going to happen. Even if you're planning the best way,
Mhm.
no one knows. No, so you have to you go to the plan, but you flow with the reality.
Yep. This is actually something that just happened to us. We had the retreat center. We opened it. All of these plants, beautiful plants, and then the neighbors came and they're like, "No fires!" And we already told the city, and now you got to get permits. And then we go get the permits, and now it's not. It's going to be like 6 months of getting permits. So it's like dealing with the timing already, you know. And it's like,
Not-
and no, but immediately. I mean, the good thing is that we already got the program that says, thank you, okay, all right, let's digest this, and how do I feel, the whole thing. So it's a process. So it is true, you know, like the planning, but at the same time I feel like the impulse that came, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, but it's how now I can flow with
Mhm.
everything. And this is, you know, it just makes me deeper, like you're saying, to feel more about myself, to understand myself better in front of several challenges that seem like completely just like, no, you're not allowed to do this, you know, your insight, your guidance is bullshit, we don't give a shit, you know. No. And it's like, okay, all right, let me find the crack and let me work with that no, and just like continue growing right through all of that. It's very true that you know, nobody can predict time, nobody can predict the future, you know. It's beautiful. Gracias, hermano.
It's part of the program. I think it's part of the way that we're going to learn. And I'm sorry about that, but like you're saying, well, you just don't know
Right.
why, but you have to trust. Even it's that hard that you put all that effort on that, and it's for a good thing. Why? Okay. So first, how you feel it.
Uh-huh.
First of all,
Yeah. It feels just like, you know,
an explosion.
confusing, devastation. The whole thing is like, I mean, the feeling is there for sure. But the good thing is that, you know, the everything stays. You know, everything's, you know, the process and the knowing, right, of the path.
You transmutating when you see it with love, and you're going for sure. We don't know how we're going to obtain the best result of it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to trust that. Like
Mm-hmm.
expect the best, but
Uh-huh.
with love.
Uh-huh.
Even as it's going to blow everything. Okay, it's going to blow everything, but I expect the best because I feel it with love. And it's hard to tell that because no one wants to think about that. But you have to make just a little bit of the exercise and expecting the worst to understand that maybe it's a worst, not feel the worst or expecting the worst,
Right.
but understand that it's all the possibilities always. But you are working with the possibilities, with the love, with the understanding, with the awareness, and you're
Refining.
to peace, going
Yes.
to peace for the best. And I don't know, Jesus Christ, I cannot imagine, hey, they're going to kill you. What? Yeah, they're going to kill you. Yeah. Oh my God, what's going on? I've been helping people, you know, but
Yeah.
he in a way that we don't understand, he understands that when that happened, something beautiful is going to happen. And he just did it. He just come back and, hey, you think you killed me? I'm here, still here. So that's the kind of thing that we have to understand, that we don't understand how in the back of something really bad, like people telling you, hey, you're not gonna help people, you're not going to do anything beautiful here, what's going on, you know? people telling you that. Well, we have to feel like Jesus Christ, that in the back of the crucifixion and in any level, there is always something beautiful. We have to do it, not because we have to do it, it's because we really don't have an option. Never have it. And that's our free will. Our free will is, my option is love. My option is trust. My option is awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do that, there's peace and there's the gift.
Mm-hmm. I hope. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a few people that I think, I'm not sure if Sonia, levantaste la mano, güey. I saw a few people.
Sí, güey.
Okay.
Quería hacer un comentario.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other day okay, so after my retreat, you know how intense that was for them. I've been having these dreams about doing medicine in my retreats, way. But I keep telling the people the actually are the same ancestors that came on my last retreat. And I keep telling them, hey, you guys better be nice to me. Like, I wanted a blissful retreat. Anyways, so in that retreat, I was told that I still have to go through another awakening. And I'm like, fuck, excuse my French. It's like, man. So the next day, because I know it was going to be like intense. And then the next day I was talking to my brother about the dream. And I was telling him, hey, dude, I had this dream. And in the dream, I was told that I had to go through another awakening and that I still have a lot of shit that I need to do. And I said, and I don't know if I really want to do it in this lifetime. I think I'm going to take it easy and just go and wait until the next one, right? And I said, and it's okay, whatever. I know that it's okay, whatever I choose, whether I want to do it in this lifetime or the next one, or I want to take me 3 lifetimes to finally, open all my gifts or whatever, my spiritual gifts that I need to do. And it's okay. I know it's okay, I said. And then my brother said this, well, that's sad. And I said, what's sad? He said, well, you're going to leave this life and then it's going to be over. They're going to erase the cassette and then you're coming back again and doing it all over again. And I was like, well, if you look at it in that perspective, yeah, it might suck, but that's not the way I'm perceiving it. The way I'm perceiving it is I'm an eternal being, and yeah, I might come back as a different person, live another, I don't know, 100 years if I'm lucky or whatever. But it's just, it does. I got that feeling, what Fer was talking about, like that feeling of being okay with it, the feeling of being part of time, not being in time. You see what I'm saying? Like being one with time. Is that what he's referring to? What that time is not that time is non-existent? That is so non-existent that it's actually is within you. Am I correct, Fer?
I wanna
See?
I wanna say something, and then if you wanna expand a little bit more, for the not wanting to go through that. This is a part of the puzzle, that he was saying. So there's many different things, right? Like recognizing how the not wanting to feel like that and going through an awakening, like what you had in the retreat, something like this that was very, very, very intense. In some levels, is traumatic to the ego, right, to the I. And so
Yeah.
then that moment, there's a creation of now in this present moment is feeding from a story that we made in the past, a story that we, and so now the possibilities of what can be, or of something that might be, we're choosing influenced on a maybe a fear or something like that.
Yeah.
And whatever you choose is okay. It
I
is
actually
obviously.
realized it. I actually realized that I was speaking through some sort of victim, but also through fear. I know I totally recognized it, and I honor my fear. And I was like, I know it's because of the fear, and it's okay.
Okay.
Like I consciously knew I was being fearful
Yeah.
of the trauma that I considered trauma,
Mhm.
even though it's not. But like I was consciously aware that it was my fear speaking. You know, I was speaking with fear. I was very conscious of that. That I did notice.
Mhm.
Yeah. How do I go about that? That's another subject.
Oh,
Working
if
on that.
can I add something to that?
What?
Mhm.
So I think that everything that you're saying, you are aware of that. You're saying with fear and everything, and it's, I think it's okay. Everything that you say, it's okay. It's okay to say, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen that way.
Oh.
Even that it's going to be the next awakening is going to be that traumatic that the first time. I don't know what happened, but it's going to be like that hard. The first thing, and the second thing is you really don't know what is going to happen. Now you think something. It's okay. You think something. You're aware you're thinking. You're aware you're feeling. But it doesn't have nothing to do with the future in the way that you don't know how to. Maybe tomorrow you say, now I'm ready. Now I'm feeling good. Now I can do it. Now,
Yeah.
maybe you do that because you were aware that you were feeling like fear when you're saying that. So, but you don't know that. We don't know that. You have to know what's happening right now, and just let everything like flows. Because maybe you're going to awake again, and it's going to be like really different from the last time. You just don't know.
Okay.
And not only that, I think that the fear puts a screen of projection of, is it really worth it, and all of that. When again, because we don't know and we're projecting based on what you experienced with the first one, but everything's changing all the time, and and you don't know that maybe next time what you get is a complete embodiment of harmony, for example.
I actually did a little
Happen like
because I knew I
sorry.
was going through a phase of dreams. Like I felt like angels and people and ancestors coming in my dreams and working with me. So
Mhm.
before I went to sleep, I was like, okay, I'm okay with it, but you know what? This time I want it to be a blissful uh, work that we're gonna do. And sure enough, I went to sleep and I had my dream. The ancestors came in my dream and it was blissful the way I asked for it.
Mm.
So I understand. So basically what you're saying, Fer, is like, is the same thing as manifesting, right? That's what I was asking before too. So it's
Yes.
manifesting, visualizing or picturing or yeah, kind of like visualizing or projecting myself in the future, but having a blissful aha moment, like where it's not so intense, where it's just where I see myself flowing with the process,
Mhm.
right? It's manifesting, but right now working on feeling that manifestation.
And feeling grateful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So to close the feeling. The gratefulness is when you send it and you say yes, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That
kind of like
happens to me a
similar
lot too.
similar to what we do in the despachos, that every symbol of the prayer of the despacho is specific, right? And one of the specifics is, okay, I have this desire that I want, and then you choose the ways that you want to experience, and you tune into, I want to experience love with this desire. I want it to manifest with joy. I want it to be, fast. I want it to be, harmonious, all of these things. So it is basically, in gratitude is just, it raises the vibration of everything even more.
It's like what you told us, Andres, to connect with the moment when we were feeling joy, with the moment when we were feeling safe, or the moment where we were, connecting with that feeling and then being grateful about that. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thank you,
so much.
Fernando.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mitesh, did you have a question, brother? Or I don't know if it's Shakti.
Hi, I had a question just about timing. Going back to the timing again, I'm still stuck there. How much of just the timing, our personal timing depends on the planetary timing and timing that is planned in the greater cosmos, I guess is what, there's something I'm trying to reconcile between me setting an intention to create something and then feels like it kind of moves far back because something else opens up that needs healing and makes me wonder how much is in my control and how much is do I need to surrender, or maybe it's just a dance.
Okay. First, you're asking about the timing, like the timing when two things happen or connect. That's the timing you're asking too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
what I understand is that like our souls have this. I see like a program, a computer program, and it's cycling. So with the cosmos, every soul have to understand or have to learn in all these cycling. How you say it, Andres?
Cycles.
Cycles. Yes, in these cycles, in a spiral, it go forward. It advance, and it have this measure with the cycles of the cosmos, and you have to activate that all this information from your soul inside these cycles. So the timing of every soul are perfect. Our soul have all the program for all the learning that we have to do here. So there's a perfect timing, and if you don't get to the place that you want to get, it's because it's not really your time. But sometimes you pass your time and you have to activate with another ways, maybe more difficult. But the thing is that what we have to learn, and we have to the tools to do it. And what I see here, one great tool is the tools that Andres is giving to us, the medicine and all his philosophy and all his sabiduría, and that's a tool, and we incorporate our tool to ourselves. But that's with the cycles, with the timing, and that's how I understand it works. I don't know, but that's the way I understand it. I don't know if that's what your answer. I'm sorry.
One of the things that I wanted to say, Shakti, is so when you have something that you want to do, and you question whether the timing is right or not based on some personal work that you are recognizing within yourself, it doesn't mean that the timing is wrong. It's there's always going to be, and maybe Fernando can talk about, if you're open to see, if you want to share about, what are you currently working, like for example, you have a path in front of you, right, and you're inspired to do something, and it's gonna expand your the smallness of the ego, for example, is gonna get you a little bit more open, a little bit more secure, more certain, and trusting yourself, all of these things. But at the same time, you recognize that there's still some shadow aspect that you haven't been able to totally transcend, right? And so the transcendence of some of the shadow, it is, so basically the amount of light is proportional to the awareness of the shadow that we sometimes have. So and it's the whole principle of how much light and how much shadow. So when you have it's similar to like you have an experience that it's pretty sad, and at the same time, it doesn't matter how intense it is, in the opposite polarity, opposite values complement each other. So at the opposite side, there is an experience of the opposite vibration of sadness that is vibrating really strong, and that is giving you contrast so that you can understand all of the pieces and give you more awareness. So having said that, that there is, as you continue to move forward, you start to reflect about the shadow. It's really not so much so that you stop moving forward. It's just so that you become more accountable with yourself, and you continue doing everything. People sometimes ask us, is like, how do you integrate if you're, like you continue taking medicine? It's like, well, what time do you integrate? We integrate in the present moment, in the here and now, as things are happening. We transform with each step that we take. You take a step forward, and then you recognize that there might be, for example, last night in the class we were talking about Aini, being in right relationship with situations and things, giving a function and a purpose to everything, and making everything in harmony, right? And so when I was talking, I realized that I have a guitar that I haven't used in maybe like around 8 years, maybe more. And it's just there collecting dust, and I don't have a good relationship. I see it, and it's not bringing any energy. It's just, accumulated energy that is just sitting. And I recognize that immediately when I saw it. I'm like, it's like this, I don't have a really good relationship. So it's just a brief example, right, of how we continue to learn about the things that are not beneficial for us, and then we take action. We become responsible. But that in itself is a recognition that comes because you're moving forward. So the more you move forward, the more awareness, and with this awareness you can actually perceive more what is in alignment and what is not, what is expanding you and what is contracting you, what is holding you back, and things like this. Does that make a little bit more sense, Shakti?
It does. Actually, I just realized where this question is coming from. When I was in my mom's womb, my birth was induced. And I think I've been carrying a program that I'm a victim of somebody else's timing, and I need to always bow down to that. So thank you. I reconcile this. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Beautiful. Does anybody have any other questions? We have any questions about anything that Fernando has shared with us? Anything specific to you, or anything that you might want to understand in a little bit deeper way? Right now,
I have a question.
Hi, Lasha.
Hi. I have a question on. He mentioned about joy and happiness. You need to be. It's not a forced happiness, but it's natural. You feel happy. How does he do that? Like, how do you do that? Naturally feeling happy, right? Not forcing it. I know I did this joy. I think 1 week, it was about joy. Right, and say, okay, I should feel happy. We should feel joyful, right? Like, what is that natural? How do you tune into that natural joy when things are difficult and challenging? And the other question I have is, if you could talk a little bit about his own path, like what was his path, and maybe it's a longer, what was his path to where he is now? That'd be useful.
¿Sí lo entendiste?
Más o menos.
Pregunta que te estabas explicando acerca de la felicidad, de cómo uno puede estar en ser feliz, pero de una manera natural, sin tener que forzarlo. No es así como que tengo que forzarme a ser feliz o estar en éxtasis o estar en un estado de gracia, sino que nada más te relajas en ese espacio, ¿no? Y la segunda pregunta es que si puedes compartir acerca de un poquito de tu camino, güey.
Okay. Well, the first thing is that the more you are aware of all this, aware of who are you, it's more easy to feel joy, in the way that you don't need anything from outside to connect to the joy. You just connect to the joy from being. So that's the real place from where you can, in a real way, feel happiness and feel joy. In making yourself aware of yourself. Who are you? So the more you understand yourself, like a higher self inside a body, it's more easy to understand that all the traps that is going on around you. So if you don't get into the traps, so you just get into the time, in the real time, in the present, in the awareness, and as a consequence in the love, and you feel great. But you have to do all this work about yourself, because for me, everyone are like super. I understand that, but people have to understand that from themselves too. And when you do it, you feel that. But this is a path, and it's not easy because we have to fix so many things. It's really difficult. But at the same time, you have to go to the back and say, okay, do I want to go back there? If you say no, my God, no. Even if that this is hard, so that's something you have to say that, oh, I feel fine, I feel great for me. So that's a start to feel great. I was there are many things, or I don't know, if you have someone that loves you and you love him back or love it back, or if you have your health, your body in a great shape, or like not physical or in more like you feel peace in your body, peace of, so that's something you have to feel great, because it's hard. Not many people have that. And when you're sick, oh my God, I remember when I was well, sano, healthy. So sometimes the sickness help us to realize how good is being healthy. So you have to figure out how many things, good things do we have. It's not about, oh good, I have this amount in the bank. It doesn't matter, because that amount is going to go up, going to go down, or it doesn't matter many things about outside. The things that you get inside you, that the thing that is gonna get you real happy. But until you don't realize that those things are really great things, you're not going to count on that to be happy. So there's many things to do, but I just give you a few things that you can use in the day to feel great. Oh my God, I'm alive, I'm here, I feel great, I have peace in my body because I'm not sick, and I have people that love me and I love them back, and I have a place to live. So that's the start. But at the moment that you have to make an exercise outside you with this stuff, with something material to feel that, it's really tricky, because you can lose everything of that in a moment, just like that, even your health. So it's hard to be real happy from something outside. You have to be happy from something that you feel inside, and you realize you have it right now, like love from other people or health from your body. Is that okay, the answer? It's okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And the second question about myself, all my life has been really, really strange, because when I was really young, I was in the middle of the wood, and boys told me, hey, you're gonna die. I said, what's that? Why I'm going to die? But it was telling me that my time here, it was like finite. Maybe it's 120 years, maybe tomorrow it's the same, I don't know. But the thing is, it's finite, it's time. I'm going to be here just for a while. So what I'm going to do, I have to start to do it right now. So I start to do really young, to be a painter, even if that in my family or anyone is a painter or anything. And I've been painting for 25 years straight, just doing art, and understanding. And that was the beginning. But then in 2013, something else happened to me that start to connect with Jesus, and start to learn about all this. And it was really difficult, because I have to do a lot of stupid things to understand my ego, to understand that all the things that I was doing, it was to help my ego to grow, it was to grow my ego. So I understand that way, that path, I'm not going to be happy, I'm not going to have peace. So I have to go through many difficult things, and nothing fatal, nothing really worse, but it really, really hard to understand. And there was last year's a few things that for me just ended in what I called my illumination. I said it in the best way I can say it, because I finally understand, like, no one can solve my peace, and no one, what I'm saying, no one is nothing inside me, because I understand that everything is going to continue. There's nothing I can do in the world. There's nothing I can fix in the world. I can fix the moment. I can fix how I feel, but I cannot fix anything. If I want to fix anything, I have to start to do it right now, to be coherente or congruente.
Coherent, congruent.
Okay, with what's going on right now. Like, if I feel really sad about the planet and all the contamination. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, but what are you doing at the moment? That you have to start to making that question to fix with the real thing, those things, and oh my God, I'm doing all this for the environment and for the planet. Okay, so is there anything else that you can do? At the moment, no. So you have to find your peace on what you're doing and what you can do, and how far can you get to that. So I have to understand, like, in my mind, like, everything that was making a shadow of me, and understand it at every moment of the day. I understand what's going on, because for me, the enlightenment is not like in a state that you just get there and you just, woohoo, I'm here. No, you continue walking. I made this analogy is, there are three kind of people. The three people are walking a path, but the first one is asleep and have abandoned something is blind. But the thing that the first one, it doesn't know that have something in his blind, doesn't know, but he's walking and he just going and
Hitting himself.
Yes, hitting himself, crash with everything and go inside the holes. The second people is blind, but is aware that is blind. But I think what we are there. But the three people are walking, and there's a lot of stuff in the walking. And the third one is the one that is illuminate. He doesn't have anything on his side, but still walking. You know, so if someone illuminates himself, nothing changed, because everything's continue. What it changed is the way that this person see life, and how he understand, how much he understand of the moment, and if he can illuminate what's going on, illuminate the ego that is telling you the time and the space, illuminate the situation, illuminate everything. That's the illumination. So for me, something happened, and something is making a crack in my mind, and just understand all this, and I never have to go back to all the history and all the stuff that was going in my mind. So, but it's not only the mind; it's many other things. I have to feel my heart to make this discernment. I have to feel my body. I have to understand many other things. It's not only the mind, but I think that the mind is the one that is confused, but it's the one that the ego used to make the experience. I think the heart is like really, really pure. I don't think the heart can be like, I understand that the heart feel this, and yes, because of the mind telling this to the heart. But when the mind stops, the heart starts speaking the truth all the time, what it feels. The mind is like the one that's making all this complex, because things of time and space, and have this relation with many things that for me are illusions. So I don't have the need to go inside those darker places. I can see those darker places. It still happen a lot of stuff to me. Today happened something to me, really hard today. So I have to make all this work, and I understand and say, oh, that's it. I understand, and I put light. But for a moment, a brief moment, there was darkness, and I have to work on it and see it. And and say, okay, this is true of what happened. I cannot do anything. I'm not going to feel bad or sad or angry or whatever. I have fear, but it's true, and this is not true. And so that I'm not going to use it for me. That's okay, and then just I just put it on the side. I say thanks, but it's okay. Just continue. So so for me, I'm not a teacher like Andres. I'm really proud. He's my cousin. I love him, and I feel great that he's helping us with all this wisdom. But I just understand things. I am understanding, and I've been meditating. Well, that's another thing. I've been meditating for 8 straight years, 8 years straight, and all days, and 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours. That was the way I do it.
Yeah, that has been one of the most the discipline, and one of the things that you were sharing is one when we were talking about discipline, and it's like saying, like, what's the most expensive thing in the universe, in the cosmos, and it's like self-discipline. That usually and that's usually what I tune in when I have to do like the rituals of 40 days. That is every day doing the same, and just pecking on a belief, and just transmuting or doing something. It's been a lot of that, because I do see that for you it has been that path of every morning, right? Like an hour
every day.
Yes. That's is the sadhana. Some people have the kriya, the breathing. Other people have yoga, meditation. There's many different things. But for you, was the consistency with that? It's a commitment that you experience, right? With
I want to add another thing that really helped me to make it happen is ayuno. ¿Cómo se dice ayunar? Fasting, and I've been fasting for every week, every Monday, for 1 year now. I don't eat anything from Sunday to Tuesday. I don't start like one day. I just start like first 1 day and then 16 hours. And for me, it was like really helped me, like cleaning my cells, the fasting, and for 48 hours for every week, every 7 days, again and again and again. So all my system is like reboot, like reset and reset and reset and reset, and for me helped me a lot. Like at this moment, I've been fasting, it just a little bit from last Sunday, and now is Wednesday, and haven't eat any food. I don't say like I don't say that. Everyone have to do whatever they have to do, but for me, it's helping me. And we know that many Jesus do it in the desert, and Moises, and it's helping me like every 7 days, 48 hours, and all my mind, and that helped me to realize all the stuff that I'm telling you guys.
Yeah, because it gets like the ego gets really tangible when you deprive those comfort zones, the comfort zone and the pleasure zones of the ego. Then the ego starts just like being very loud, and then you can observe it a little bit more clear. What are my needs? What are my beliefs? What is everything? And you understand a little deeper. Yeah, no, we do. We don't ask anybody to fast that much, but intermittent fasting for sure, for cleaning the system, every, like 2-3 days a week, so something like that, but just 18 hours, right? Something like that. But yeah, I myself, I have experienced also a couple times in my life, 40 days, and, just a few 21s and a lot of 7s, and, it's always beneficial. And thank you, hermano.
Hey, Andres, the sadhana that you was talking about, the 1 to 2 hours every day, is it the rituals?
No, what kind of meditation do you do, man? ¿Qué tipo de meditación haces, carnal?
Well, now wherever my soul tells me when I sit, I just ask. But breathing, different kind of breathings. I'm not an expert in meditating, but is the thing is, how many times do we use to ourselves? Just to ourselves. So for me, just sitting and do nothing and just hear what is going on, because what I understand of meditating, that my thinkings are not thinking, is energy. So I translate the thinkings on energy. So what I'm doing is see the energy that's going around me, and it depends on the day. You just say about the cosmos, and the Mayan calendar. I follow the Mayan calendar all from 7 years.
Yeah.
The solstice.
Solkin.
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 And see Solkin, and yes, I try to understand the energy of the day in my thinkings when I'm meditating. But I do the chakras. If I feel sick, I do the chakras. It's the best thing for me. It's the best thing to do. I do all the align the chakras when I'm sick from whatever, from the stomach, and I do many meditating. The thing is not like what meditating is the best. Is meditate for everyone is good, whatever they do in life, because meditating is being with you and God. For me, what I understand, and understand the energy that's going on around, and try to fix it a little bit and connecting. So for me, it's a way to start my day.
Yeah, it's definitely beneficial for sure. It's like something that is beneficial to the state of mind, to the awareness.
It's food for the soul for me.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, guys. I don't know if there's any other questions. We passed the 2-hour mark. Any other last questions before we close the session? All right. Well, thank you so much, Fernando. Muchas gracias, güey. Thank you for
Te amo, carnal.
Te amo, güey. Gracias, güey. All right, guys. Sending you guys a big
Yeah.
hug. Blessings. And we'll
Thank
see each other again in a couple of weeks. Have a great
Thanks,
night.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, Andres. Thank you, Sabrina.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Gracias, hermano.
Gracias.